Could this be the seismic shift our defense has been begging for all year? What's up, Bears News fan report faithful? If you believe Chicago's next big move could rewrite our defensive destiny, hit that like button and subscribe now, because you're about to get the inside track on a story that's shaking the league to its core. Picture the scene. It's early summer in Halas Hall. OTAs have wrapped up, yet one crucial spot on the roster remains unnervingly vacant: the edge rusher who can single-handedly transform 3rd and long into 3rd and never. Rumblings out of Cincinnati suggest a young phenom has hit an impasse with his contract, skipped mandatory minicamp, and is staring down an August 5th deadline that could see him traded, re-entering next year's draft, or even taking his talents to the UFL or CFL, all while his NFL rights stay locked up by the Bengals. Could the Chicago Bears be the team poised to pounce on this once-in-a-generation opportunity? Let's backtrack to how we got here. The Bengals selected this defensive end with the 17th overall pick in the 2025 draft, convinced his combination of length and explosion would vault him into the Pro Bowl by year 2. Instead, contract negotiations hit a stalemate, and he hasn't signed the participation waiver, keeping him off the practice field despite attending playbook meetings. Heavy.com. Now, insiders speculate Cincinnati might accept a package centered on 2026 second and third round picks, funneled straight to Chicago, of all places. Imagine that, the front office dangling mid-round gems to acquire a player whose ceiling is sky-high, rather than mortgaging our future with a blockbuster, cap-crippling deal. Think about the impact. Last season, our vaunted defense allowed fear. Too many clean pockets and quick releases, nearly 70 sacks surrendered league-wide by our offense, and yet we still struggled to make opposing quarterbacks pay when it mattered most. Fast forward to a unit built around a true disruptor, a rookie whose charismatic presence alone will force double teams, open rushing lanes for Khalil Mack's thunderous bull rush, and ignite a pass rush collective that has lacked a consistent spark for years. Could this be the moment Chicago turns a page from perennial underdog to bona fide contender? Of course, there are moving parts. If our brass swings for this young edge maestro, they'll need to balance cap space against future flexibility, particularly as Caleb Williams prepares to step into the spotlight in 26. Will Ryan Poles structure a team-friendly deal that rewards performance, bonuses for double-digit sacks, sacks forced, or Pro Bowl nods, while protecting the franchise if production dips? And what about the holdout threat? If this rookie digs in his heels, demanding his market value, might Chicago face a standoff that echoes past quarterback contract sagas? Some fear the negotiation could drag into training camp, but others argue that the mere threat of sitting out will bolt the Bengals toward a swift trade, especially if Cincinnati wants to recoup value rather than watch their pick re-enter the draft unshipped. As Bears News fan report devotees, we're no strangers to calculated risks. We remember the day we mortgaged picks for Khalil Mack and watched a monster of a defender reshape our identity. But this time, the story feels different. Youthful exuberance meets championship hunger in a package that could pay dividends for half a decade. Statistics aside, what if this player's work ethic and film room tenacity become the cultural cornerstone we've craved since the monsters of the Midway last terrorized quarterbacks? Could his arrival galvanize a locker room still chasing a culture shift under Coach Johnson's defensive schemes? Yet, beneath all the hopeful chatter, a lingering question remains. Who exactly is this electrifying pass rusher on the brink of potentially swapping Bengal orange for Bear Navy and orange? We've tiptoed around his identity to stretch the suspense, but rest assured, once we drop the name, you'll understand why the entire league is holding its breath. Stay locked in, because when we unveil the player at the center of this blockbuster rumor, we'll dive into the nitty-gritty, his college exploits at Texas A&M, his freakish 6'5", 267-pound frame, and why top analysts believe he'll redefine our edge. But for now, rest with this cliffhanger. Could the Chicago Bears truly be about to land their next defensive superstar. The next chapter is coming, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. If you've been on the edge of your seat wondering whether the Bears are ready to strike a blow that will echo through the NFC North for years, smash that like button and subscribe to Bears News Fan Report, because what we're about to unpack could change everything. Let's cut to the chase. The player at the center of all this drama is none other than Shamar Stewart, the Bengals' 17th overall pick in the 2025 draft, a 6'5", 270-pound defensive end whose explosive first step and relentless motor made him one of college football's most feared disruptors at Texas A&M. Now, imagine him swapping that orange helmet for navy and orange, lining up opposite Montez Sweat in a pass rush that already has opposing offensive coordinators shaking in their cleats. Last season at College Station, Stewart racked up 19.5 tackles for loss, 11 sacks, and 3 forced fumbles across 36 games, showcasing a rare blend of power, agility, and technique that earned him a place on countless draft boards. The Bengals selected him believing he could be their next franchise cornerstone. Yet a standoff over contract language, centered on guaranteed money clauses, has left him unsigned, off the practice field, and staring at an August 5th deadline that could force Cincinnati to trade or watch him re-enter next year's draft without any return. That's where the Bears come in. Picture the scene. Ryan Poles, eyes gleaming with the kind of determination you only see in executives who believe they can seize lightning in a bottle, whispers across the table that the Bears are prepared to part with a 2026 second-round pick plus a conditional mid-rounder in 27. In return, not just draft capital, but the promise of a player whose ceiling rivals that of Khalil Mack at his peak, a man whose very presence could demand double teams, create one-on-one matchups for other defenders, and tilt the balance in Chicago's favor on third and long situations where our defense has too often folded. Think back to that unforgettable 2018 playoff thrill ride, when Mack's ferocious bull rush and relentless hustle turned the Bears into legitimate contenders almost overnight. Now imagine a fresh infusion of youth and ceiling, a pass rusher who hasn't yet logged an NFL snap but carries the pedigree of a true impact player. Could Stewart's addition push our defensive front from good to unstoppable, forcing opposing quarterbacks to release before they've even made their reads? Could this be the spark that galvanizes a locker room still hungry for identity under Coach Johnson's scheme? Of course, high reward comes with high risk. Stewart's absence from minicamp and the ding-dong over guaranteed money could spiral into holdout drama, potentially sidelining him when we need him most. If Cincinnati digs in, might we face a protracted standoff only to lose him entirely? Yet, sources tell us Stewart has been studying the Bengals' playbook, sitting in meetings and making it clear that he's eager to compete once the contractual fine print is settled. That dedication mirrors the work ethic Bears fans crave. An uncompromising commitment to excellence, right down to the last rep and the final whistle. Beyond the X's and O's, there's an emotional undercurrent here, a franchise and a fan base long starved for that defining moment, that seismic move that says we're back. When the Bears mortgaged their draft future for Khalil Mack, we learned that a single acquisition can reshape a season, rally a city, and rewire expectations. Now, with Stewart, the potential narrative is even more electric. A young, ascending Warrior joins forces with a storied veteran core, forging a new era of dominance at Soldier Field. Imagine the roar when Stewart sacks Matthew Stafford on Monday Night Football, the chants that swell every time he pressures a rival quarterback, and the belief that, finally, this defense has the teeth to bite. So here we stand, at the precipice of a decision that could define the next half-decade of Chicago Bears football. Will Poles pull the trigger and gamble the future draft capital on a youngster who could become a legend? Or will he play it safe, leaving us to wonder, what if, for another season? I don't know about you, but I'm buzzing with anticipation, picturing Shamar Stewart's name in the starting lineup, the energy crackling through the crowd every time he explodes off the edge. Let me know what you think, Bears faithful. Are you ready to welcome Stewart to the Monsters of the Midway? Drop your takes in the comments below. And if you felt that rush of excitement, be sure to like this video, subscribe to Bears News Fan Report, and ring the bell so you're first in line when we break big news like this again. Until next time, keep that orange and navy pride burning strong. Go Bears!